Welcome back, guys, to another deck profile. Yeah, I know it's really been a while. It's been a month since my last video, and I apologize because I was busy with life and all this. But yeah, over the break, we got the reveals of Dragon Overlord DN, Majesty Blockbuster, and of course Phantom Blast Overlord, which is one of my all-time favorite units. As you can see, I've been playing the deck since a while. Original PDO 5 and recently PDO 8. So with that on the horizon, I thought I'll be covering everything Phantom Buster Dragon from set 4 and below to give you an overview of the deck and tell you why it's either a very hyped out deck or a very a deck that's often looked down upon. Yeah. So in Phantom Buster Dragon, as it currently is a very aggressive deck with some elements of field control and a lot of free field generation. So it's very strong in the early game, but where it peaks at the top with cards like Javelin, Blast Dark, and Machas to get free power and feel, it will eventually fall off, as if the game lasts too long, there's no way it's guarding any of the stronger moves like from Seraph Pure Light or Arrival Boost. So yeah, do keep this in mind in the current set 4 meta game. It's not the best, but yeah, I thought I'd be covering my build on it, which I found some success by playing a pure aggro game. So anyway, for the red line, here's Full Bow, Javelin, Dark, and Phantom Buster Dragon. Okay, so let's just recap. When you write Dark on Javelin, you sprinkle the card of your deck if it's a unique card. Yeah, as dress. Yeah. So this is basically a free +1 when you write from Javelin to Dark, but it just calls dress. Then this will play into Buster Dark skill, where on Vanguard Rearguard, when he's placed. So this can be considered from Rearguard Call or Vanguard Call. Count +1. Retire one of the Rearguards. So this will technically guarantee you a target if you have 1 plus. To give this unit drive +1. So on the Vanguard Circle, this will make it a 2-in drive Vanguard, which is really nice. On the Rearguard Circle, however, do note it does gain the drive, but it does not get the ability to 2-in drive. So it does not track. Yeah, just to clarify. So this is useful in just to snipe opponent's back row, and of course just push them aggressively to 2-in drive. Then Phantom Buster Dragon is the main boss card. When he rides upon, you call a blaster from your soul, so Javelin or Dark. Yeah, Javelin or Dark. Then come +1, once per turn, retire 3 of your Rearguards, retire 2 of your opponent Rearguards, you get 10k and 1 crit until the end of the turn. It's really simplistic. So yeah. Now I'll get through my units. So of course with grade 3s, the only grade 3 I'm playing is Phantom Buster Dragon itself, which is a persona right, which is important for pushing games. And of course, drawing more of it is our win condition. It allows to form consistent columns. Let's say we persona right on top of the Phantom Buster Dragon, we actually guaranteed to call the grade 3 from the soul. So this is a minimum 2-in-3, 2-in-3. If the skill, it's a 33, 2-in-3. And that really falls into the theme of this build, which is the focus to form early game and magic numbers. So yeah, do note on the skill. We will use the skill quite a bit to push your opponent into defensive position and just to get a reaction away of opponent. Then after get 3s, I play 3 more Blaster Ducks. Simplistic effect. This time you're playing for the Rearguard effect, which is during this turn, when your on Rearguard's retired, it gets 5k. So as long as you retire a Rearguard during your turn, by your cost, it gets 15k decker early game. So this is relevant on turn 2 if you do retire something with Dark skill. This makes it a solid 15k decker, good for rushing. And even every time you activate Phantom Buster Dragon skill, you'll then be a 15k reliable Rearguard, yeah. Just for more rush. Add to this team, we play the 4-copy Darkness Maiden Matcha. Simple things. When placed, so +1, retire one of your other Rearguards, no it can't retire itself. Do top 5 cards of the deck, call a great one, and shuffle. Alright, then if your Rearguard's a blaster, it gets 5k, yeah. Sorry, just to preface it. I'll put the skill somewhere there for all these cards. So these cards, I initially tested the deck without it, but I feel this card is too important, as it allows us to toolbox our new grade 1s and old grade 1s rather constantly. So before we get to this, I'll go through these 2 cards, which is a Knight of Severe Punishment Gate. Not sure the English name, I'll put it there. But what it does is essentially when you type it by one of your card effects. So this one, yeah, Matcha even. You look at the top 3 cards of your deck for a blaster, put it in the hand, then the rest go to the bottom of the deck, you don't shuffle. So just some more ways to like help such a deck. Don't play too many, as it's basically a vanilla card until you retire it. But it's nice to have just to round out the lineup. Now for the Great One lineup, which is rather important for this deck, as a lot of the deck's plays are revolved around gathering your free regards, like I mentioned before. This will come from your Great One, so get it out of the way. It is my dragon. You should get this, in my opinion. It's rather hard to get now, but PGs, I wouldn't stay much there. Then I play 3 more javelins. So this is my personal choice, as I'm running Gate as an additional engine. So javelin is very nice. It's the 10k booster, so you can play it without anything from a 20k column early game to rush, or even call it as the front row that it get to Vanguard for his own. Very strong for hitting magic numbers throughout the game, and even later in the game when you do personal right, this can become a 33 column, see like 23 plus 10. So it's really nice to have. And yeah, it's searchable by Gate. So I play 3 javelin for the rush. Then the core cards now I'll talk about is the must play for, which is the Black Sage Charon. So this is another encounter card from set 2 when placed from anywhere. So this will trigger from call Macha or any random call. You rest him for the cost, look at the top card of your deck, then you may call it. As long as you get a blaster, the skill will always be active. So this is it, will be active as early as turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 and onwards. Yeah, so it's always online, which is really nice. The downside is the card you call will be retired at the end of the turn. So yeah, generally we use this just to get more bodies on the board, but sometimes late to the game, if you see like a trigger unit, so if your field already full, you can call it out to scry for a crit or heal or something you need. You can leave it on top and just rest it and retire it for Vandal Surgeon skill. So it's a really flexible card. Despite 7k, it's always strong as it's very flexible for the deck. And yeah, still core card. Then the new addition, which is Mugen over here. So what this card does is when placed from your hand, only by hand. So this is one of the cards you want to be mulliganing for in general. Then when you play it, you have Vanguard Blaster, discard one card, two cards from your deck for units and call them out. But because, spoiler alert, well, the whole deck is units, you always get a +2 from it. So it's like you play one card, discard one card, you get 2 cards back. Well, although they are called rest, if you do go first, you usually can right javelin with the right deck, of course. Then you call it out immediately, trigger it, you get 2 bodies on the board, and next time you can just start rushing. Even though your triggers are grade 2, you can separate call them regardless, which is really nice. On top of that, it's another way to create boards to retire for Phantom Blaster Dragon. And cards you call as rest can then be resetted with Matcha. So that's how you get the idea of how the deck plays. I'll go through some test hands briefly. And to run up my deck's main deck is Brunner. I play only 3 copies. If some people might wondering why I play 3 copies, well, I feel with these cards it's enough way to fill the field, but well, it's a 5k base power. So what it does is when you retire for your cost of your blasters, so Phantom Blaster, it's rated as 2 regards. So it's like 1, 2, 3. It's nice enough at 3. I used to play 4, but the 5k power doesn't help me rush, which I really want. Which is what all these great ones kind of help me do. Even Charon to some extent. Then to round out the deck, I play 4 draws. The new draws is really good for this deck. 10k draw triggers are really clutch. Then 4 of this crit, which is a Blade Feather, I think. Yeah, and 3 vanilla crits, and 4 heals. Then of course over trigger, I still prefer Amadinoa, and sometimes I just like the early draw from it. But either way is really good. So that covers like the main idea of what I'm playing right currently. If you are playing a set 3 meta game, I would say actually the only card you have to replace is just Mugen, and this build should work well. Maybe drop, play 1 more of this, and maybe to fill up the field more constantly, play a 4 Brunner. Then you got 2 DECKLOGs which you can play like East Rod or something. Yeah, I might link a deck code below if I have time, yeah. So anyway, that's my set for Phantom Blaster Dragon deck profile. So yeah, if you are interested in trying a very simple build, so all this is a very short video. But yeah, this build is really strong for rushing. It's simplistic to the point. I'll be telling you what you should be mulliganing for in this deck. So Matcha is a good target, Personal Rights another good target, Charon is pretty solid, but you do not see it urgently. But the 2 cards you definitely want to see is Mugen. So these are the 3 cards you want to mulligan for in this deck. as it helps you set up for later game. Mugen's an excellent turn 1 drop to do this. Matcha helps you make full use of free calls from Karon or Mugen, and gets a 50k for the turn as attacker. And of course, Person Right as it helps you steal the game. So with that, I'll just show you some test hands and a general flow of how you play the deck. So let's just do a quick draw. Okay, so this is our hand. Okay, we have Mugen. I'll keep the Mugen, I'll keep the Gate maybe. Then I'll throw everything the rest of the deck. Unless the matchup calls me for having perfect guards. So do not, that's my personal playstyle. Unless of course if I'm fighting a deck with strong Vanguards, I'll keep it, yeah. Let's say we go second, we attack first. Okay, so stand and draw. Nice, I'll just throw the trigger away. Right into Javelin and turn. Oh yeah, let's say we start second, so I'll just draw one. Then I can show you what you do. So I'll play a Mugen right here. I'll drop the Blaster Dog. Because of my deck, it's called Stress. So I'll set it up for next turn. Then I can immediately just start attacking. Yeah, let's say they got one, take one. Next time we take 1 damage or 3 damage die us. Usually not take much. Stand draw. Now we can throw like a Gate actually. Right into Blaster Dart. So now Javelin skill activates. You can spray call to copy that is Stress. So yeah. Usually the card you call is Rest, you'll be further for Blaster Dart. So combat 1. Tire, get Twin Drive. Then now we can drag this back. This is where cards like this two really come in handful. So you see that the useless cards we call with Mugen just now. Matcha can chill fixes up immediately. So last one. Retire this. Top 5. Okay, I'll just call the Mugen now. It doesn't equip the skill, but it's equip like filter. Then because we did have a Blaster Vanguard, this gets 5k. So this is the 23k line. This is the 15k twin drive. Say we shuffle, then we can actually just continue pressuring and form pretty good numbers. It's like 18, 15 twin drive, heal, nice. Power there. This will be hitting for 33k with the trigger. Yeah, so that's a very strong turn too. Your opponent tries to damage deny you, like hit your Rear Guards. You write Blaster Dragon, you just form a field back and just clear on aggro. But let's say for the sake of this example, let's say you just hit like this is a try to get your Gate maybe. It was like 2 damage maybe. Okay, let's say because they went first, maybe 4 damage actually, yeah. So next turn, because we force out a reaction from them by rushing them, we stand and draw. Okay, let's say we did a string throw a card. So it's situation like this, our field is full, so I don't feel need to keep the second Brooder with the Phantom Blaster Dragon. Then let's see what numbers we can form. So this will be 23 on its own, so we actually want to form as many 10k guards and 15k guards as possible. So from this, let's take Blaster Dart out. So this will be a 18. If you skill it on, you get 5k. So this hand, I can come +1, retire the Matcha and the Bruna. So this counts as 1, 2, 3. Retire them. Then Phantom Dragon will get 10k and a critical. I'll just use this one for the crit. Yeah. So 10k 1 crit. This 23. Then I can here, depending on how the game seems to be going. If their hand is very low, I recommend call the Javelin behind you and form a 33k column to either hand. But if you want to play it safe, you can actually just call the Karon here, raise this, check. So if it's the card we want, or the one we can just call it out early to just get more attacks in. This is pretty good. So if you want a PG, leave it on top. But in this case, I want to be scrying for triggers, right? So I'll just call it out. Then this is a 23k line. Check, they can check, critical trigger. So they can pump all the effects to this side if you're lucky like me. Yeah, so this is 2 cards blocked, but they did lose a field. 33k 2 crit, and this can poke for 5k. That's generally how you play the deck in set 4. It's a really aggressive deck if you open Mugen, and even if you do not, don't worry, as the previous stuff I talked about from the last video in set 2 still applies. So how do I feel about this deck in the current landscape? Well, it's fine. I personally am maining this deck. Like, yeah, surprisingly, with all the Bastion videos I made in the past, I actually do enjoy Phantom Blaster Dragon quite a bit. And with Phantom Blaster Block on the way, let's talk about some other cards which I will be definitely looking out once more cards are revealed. So some cards from set 4 is all just through the set 4 cards, which is not Mugen. So this is grade 1 that gets 10k, but there's no other card in the same column as it. So I was playing this really early on, but I think it's too inconsistent in the long run. It's a nice 18k decker, but as it needs both you and your opponent to not have any regards in column. So to illustrate this, it's like imagine your opponent playing this, right? It's like this. As your opponent feels like this, something like this. Yeah, you literally cannot have any other card like behind him or here, otherwise he won't get a 10k. So it's not bad, but I find Javelin being more consistent in the long run. As on turn 2 I drop it, it's still 10k, hits Vanguards, greater Vanguards, really nice. Then this card definitely will go up. So what it does is, when your Vanguards are Blaster, and if 2 or more Vanguards are retired for a cost, so currently the only thing that makes sense for this is Phantom Blaster Dragon, which dies 3. This card will get 10,000 at the end of turn, making it a free 20k decker. And it's even getting a shiny promo version like in the, I think, coming months, yeah, for Japanese side of the game. So yeah, this is another card I'll watch out for if you want to play Phantom Blaster Overlord. So do pick these 2 up. As some cards I want to highlight, which will definitely grow in more value, is Gate, which is the great 2 I talked about earlier. As when Phantom Blaster Overlord does come into the deck, there's actually more reason to play this card to search for more copies of Phantom Blasters and Death Blasters in general. As we've seen historically, they do try to keep a team with these like Phantom Blasters Overlords, where it's kind of relying on like Persona copies or something. This one like kind of calls from deck of Blaster. This one's like Persona Blast, origin of Persona Blast. So I'm thinking they'll be keeping a similar trend going. So definitely pick up at least these 2 cards from set 4, set 3 and set 4, and of course Mugen, which is this up for you. So with that, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this very quick deck profile. And yeah, see you guys next time. I'll make an update video real soon, and I'll talk about more about the future of this channel and how I intend to do with it. Okay, bye guys.